honest update on the company. What are we doing? What did we do right? What did we wrong? Etc. etc. These things are very important, and I will come to that in the next slide. But extremely important for you also to take a step back, smell the roses, look at your own charts, saying, we promised this in the last board meeting, did we make it or not? But most of the times we are not honest to ourselves, right? Let's admit it. We try to fudge, all that thing about selective memory and pick the data point that suit my thesis, drop the others. So we do all this nonsense of keeping ourselves happy. Right? Nobody wants to feel miserable, but you have to be honest, because they will see through it in a second. Right? I mean, I've had investors, one of my board members, he said, don't give me charts, give me spreadsheets. Very weird guy. I would give him a spreadsheet full, like the whole PowerPoint thing would be full of numbers. All 18 months, all glory of 25 lines. He'd go, that number looks off. To make one freaking mistake, in the first 10 seconds he's pointed his finger at it. These guys are smart. They handle entrepreneurs like you thrice a day. They attend 4 board meetings in a week. They are pros, they are better at it than you. Don't try to fudge it, don't try to fool them. Honesty, best policy to yourself and to your investors. Right? Again, admitting failure part. Don't be shy of that. Admit your failure upfront. I always start in my board meeting, here's the bad news. Get it out of the way. Because you want to end the meeting on a positive note. Everybody remembers the end of the meeting, nobody remembers the beginning of the meeting. Right? Oh, we screwed up here, here and here. This is what the corrective actions are, and this we already put the corrective action in play or whatever. Right? Show them that you are self-aware enough. You will find your own mistakes. You will take corrective action and put it in play. All right? Questions? None? My favorite slide. Took me the longest time to make that.
You're going to show me the money?
Yeah.
Is this the show me the money slide?
Show me the money right afterwards. But the point is, whether you want to keep investors or get investors, right? I need some chart like this. Right? Everything is missing on this chart. There is just one hockey stick you see. And I'll walk you through why it's missing and what's the purpose of this. I have no idea what the x-axis is. Is this over a 6-month time frame or is it a 6-year time frame? I have no idea. I have no idea of the y-axis. What's the magnitude? Is this a logarithmic scale or a linear scale? I don't know. What is the metric you're showing? I have no idea. These are all relevant to your business. What makes sense? Is it number of users, revenue, number of page views, number of ads served, whatever. You pick the metrics that are useful for your business. Right? The point of this chart is, you're most likely, all of you at the beginning, you're somewhere here. All of this is complete figment of your imagination. I made this chart in exactly 10 seconds. This is nothing but previous number multiplied by 2. It's a nice hyperbolic curve. So mathematically in mind, you can see these segments are changing slowly. It's not that smooth, but that's what I could do in the flight. The point I'm making is, have this chart ready for the investor to show to sell a dream, but have these charts, at least 4 of them, right? I ask at every fundraising point, I say, as soon as you're done fundraising, give me the deck of the next funding round. Just raise your $1 million seed, that's going to last you 13 months, therefore on month number 8, you will go out to raise the next round of $5 million. On month number 8, tell me 4 metrics for which the chart will look like this. Right? Print them out, stick them to the wall in front of you. Preferably large charts, stick them on a common wall where all employees and other people in the company can see. And have the guts to every month drop a red dot where reality is, as reality is going. Be brutally honest, objective with yourself, let the chart speak. Am I tracking to what I said I will track to, or am I just smoking? This chart should tell you that. I'm a geek, software guy. Life is easy as a software guy. You can program everything, anything. Instrument for the geeks in you. Instrument the heck out of your code. Track every click. Track every page. Track whatever you can track. 10, 12, 20, 30. I don't care how many data points. They don't take up space. Disk is free these days. Just track the damn thing. Why? Because I don't know which one of those 30 will make me look like this. Which one of those 30 is predictive of my future success? Because I want to be here and say, aha, we did very well in Lehman Brothers, but we screwed up in Merrill Lynch, right? Now I'll go back in my data, look at all the 30 points for Lehman Brothers, look at all the 30 points for Merrill Lynch and say, what was predictive of the failure at Merrill Lynch and what was predictive of success at Lehman Brothers? Aha, we need more users and we need the user to come back every day. Customer in which my users don't log into the system every day, I'm doomed for failure. Why? Because it's not habit forming. People forget after first 2, 3, 4. Like gym membership. If you don't do every day, you forget it, and then next renewal time you'll cancel. Right? So have the data points so that you can study the pattern of whatever success or failure was. And in software it is all very easy. I understand in hardware you can't put out that many iterations of the product. But instrument the heck out of software if you can. This automatically tells the story if you put the right x-axis, y-axis and thing, and you convince the people that hey, if we have page views, I'm guaranteed to have revenue. Right? If I have users, I will monetize them. Will that be 1 cent a day, 2 cent a day, online gaming, mobile gaming? I don't know. But first let me get to 10, 20, 30, 40 million users. Right? I mean, in the online gaming, I'm sure you guys have seen, or in any software as a service business these days, every company is successful one has tens or hundreds of millions. Look at Evernote, I think 60 million users, I think 3% or 4% of them pay. And the company is massively profitable. Even if you get 4 million people to pay you 10 bucks a month, that's 40 million bucks a month. It's hard to lose money at that rate if you're a software company. If you've done things right at 40 million, you should be way cash flow positive. Unless and until you've taken the money and dumped it down, okay, now I'm going to make my software in 100 other languages and I want to be not only text, but I want to be video, voice, whatever. I mean, you can complicate your product the way you want and lose money the way you want, but at 40 million bucks a month, very difficult to lose money. One of the simpler charts that this is one, I call this a $13 million chart. I've cut off the other one, which is a $25 million. This is a company I came into. We were out of money. We couldn't make payroll. CEOs, we were 22 people, 20 people at that time. So his investor called me. His investor was the investor in my company. He said, hey, the company is floundering. They don't know how much money they have. Every time at payroll time, the CEO's credit card comes up. He was literally paying company salary on his own card. So we started making charts and all that. The company was somewhere here in this range. This month had not happened yet. This was a great month. So this is basically, blue is current revenue, green is the upgrades we get, light green is a very small bar, dark green is the brand new revenue and the downgrades in this. So we had to control this, which was very good for the company, but we were not getting enough of the bump. As soon as we started getting these bumps, 30 million bucks came in. And about 14 months after that, which was December last year, we raised another 25 for this company. This was the sole chart that did the trick. There were a few others, but this is the real chart for a software as a service company. What? The churn is close to zero, and you seem to be getting these green bumps very successively month after month after month. That's it. Story told. Done. So we had, as I said, few other things, but the point of it is, the day we started keeping this chart, it just completely focused the sales force on, hey, is that green there this month or not? I mean, on the 25th of every month, I draw this chart and show it to everybody. Guys, this is what it's looking like till today. You've got 5 days to go. Are you going to get me some green on top or not? It was a very visceral reaction because it's physically there in front of you. I said, look, it's a spreadsheet. It's the data I downloaded from your system. I didn't cook this up. So there is no arguing the objectivity of data. So that is why I said keep that, keep this stuck up there, draw dots on it, real numbers. What can those numbers be? You can make all those charts on the financial side. So as I said, I mostly work with software companies, enterprise SaaS type. So I assume the audience was like that. If I'm wrong on the thing, I can give you numbers for other types of businesses. But the bottom line is revenue. In any SaaS business, bookings and billings is very important. As I said, revenue is the cheapest source of money. If you can bill everybody, if you can bill people in advance for 1 year, God bless you. You got your life made. If I can bill everybody for the full 1 year of service in advance, I got gobs of cash coming in. But it's very difficult to get to that point. I mean, you need to get to, let's say $500,000 revenue a month, which means if you are signing up, let's say $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 MRR deals every month, that means you're getting $500,000, $600,000 cash every month from the customers for free. No equity, no nothing, just a future of promise of future services, right? Here is 1 month, 1 year of subscription in advance. I will hope you will be alive in a year and will keep giving me service.
Are you okay with us taking a picture of the slide?
The slides will be, they'll come to you. You go to any, I'm sure.
GeniusDen.com.
What's that?
GeniusDen.
GeniusDen.com. And all of this, I think you're putting this video also online, right?
Yes.
GeniusDen.com. Slides will be there. If you notice, I'm sure you guys use a lot of SaaS services yourself, whether it's Dropbox or Box or Evernote or Slack, GitHub, I don't know, whatever. Everybody will say $5 a month, $10 a month. And if you pay in advance, LinkedIn, right? $25 a month, but you pay in advance $220 a year. And they're giving you 20-30% off. Why are they giving you that much off for paying 1 year in advance? Why? Any ideas why?
Cash flow kills companies.
Cash flow kills companies. Revenue is the cheapest source of money. I'd rather collect revenue up front. Then I don't have to go to my dear investors and raise another $5 million. And if I have to collect $5 million, it's like this. Let's say my revenue is $500,000 a month, just for the heck of it. I'm going to get $6 million from these guys, assuming no churn, no upgrade, no new customers, just simple math. $500,000, click, click, click. At the end of the year, I would have collected $600,000 from these guys, right? 6 million, sorry. But if I want to grow, hire more engineers, I need salary to be paid today. If I have to give them $1 million off and collect all the $5 million today, I'd do it in a heartbeat. No investors, no debt, no nothing. Just promise of future services. Services is largely run for free. Amazon.com, AWS, Rackspace, whatever, pick your cloud, pennies per CPU cent. You're just paying not that much in actual cost of goods. So that money is near free for you. Anyway, so what is your MRR? What is your ARR? That's monthly recurring revenue, annual recurring revenue, OPEX leverage meaning how much of my spend is variable versus fixed. The less fixed expend you can keep, the better it is. If you can scale with the company, that's better, right? Try to go for the least fixed cost, because the more fixed cost, as much as people think employees are variable cost, untrue. Employees are fixed cost. Just think through an employee's life cycle. Right? You want to hire me as this hot engineer. It will take me 3 months to find me. You will pay some headhunter what? 25-30% of my salary to find me. I have taken 6 months to onboard to figure out all your software. Am I variable cost? Are you going to fire me month number 7 or 8 when things go bad? I mean, you already got $150,000 invested in me, you're not going to fire me. And then when the 9th month or 10th month the business picks up, you're out on the road again trying to find me again? No way. All employees are fixed cost. So be careful on what's fixed, what's fine. The other thing which I can tell you from personal experience, bigger ships are difficult to steer. If you're the Titanic, the iceberg is within 3 miles of you. They use a different word in Silicon Valley. Joe asked me not to use it here. Put your own. You cannot steer the ship fast enough to avoid that. If you're a small ship, you will turn. Ship being number of people. I raised $30 million for my company, grew the company in less than 2 years to 300 people. 300 people. From 2006 till end of 2007. And then I got a cancellation from Lehman Brothers. I had no idea why they cancelled. December 2007, my second renewal from Lehman. I'm like, we had 3 users inside of Lehman. All of them vanished. Emails bounced, and I very reluctantly went to the procurement guy, who I hate because he just squeezes me. He says, oh, those guys are no longer here with the firm. We don't need your license. Cancel it. Really? What happened? Oh, they were running $1.5 billion hedge fund inside of Lehman, of Lehman proprietary money, and Lehman decided to shut that fund down. Of course, 8 months later, we find out what the hell was going on in Lehman. You know, they were pulling all the money, there was cash liquidity issue, blah, blah, blah. We didn't know that we were the canary in the mine, right? I know I was a canary, but I didn't know I was in a mine, but I know I was dead. And I didn't know that these mines went to all the hedge funds, to all the mutual funds, to all Wall Street. No. 8 months, my customer base vanished. Absolutely vanished. Right? So, I'm a big ship of 300 people. I'm sailing at $1 million negative a month. I was the Titanic, and I saw the iceberg 8 months away. Couldn't do jack. The only good part that we had done, I'm obsessive about data, so we had instrumented the heck out of our code. I knew every click of every user in our system. I could recreate your session instantly. When you came, what did you do? Log in. The only thing we figured out, we have a database of 2,500 companies every quarter. We were like a public company database, like a Yahoo Finance, but much specialized and much deeper. So I knew of the 2,500 companies, people look at 60, 70 companies every quarter. The other database doesn't even get looked at. And I was tracking everything. So I now know that of these 300 people, I only need 30% of these people. Because only this database needs to be kept out. And from quarter to quarter, only 10% of database changes, and only adjacent companies come. So it is not like people access this, then this, then this, then that. People access this, then this, then this, then this. So I know how the usage changes over quarter. Right? I'm selling it to the tech crowd, all the people involved, retail companies, all the people involved, energy companies, oil and gas, I let them go. Very difficult decision, very hard to implement. Firing 300 people is not an easy job. We had 66 people in the last year of the company. Over the year and a half that the company was going down, I had fired only 240 people. Right? People are fixed costs, back to the point of the story. Very difficult to get rid of them, it's very painful, it's emotional. All of these guys you made a promise to, you feel a moral binding to them that, hey, I'm the salesman, right? Remember? I asked you to leave your cushy job, come to me, promise of big options, blah, blah, blah. Now I'm telling you, you don't have a job. When I shut my company down the last day, May 2000, India operations shut down in April 2010, 5 co-founders, and we made a pact, the 4 of us. I said, till we find a job for all of these 66 guys, each one of the last of them, we will not go work. It took us 4 months to find each one of them a job. Then we said, okay, we'll look for our job first. Very hard decision. Because we had spent our blood and sweat finding each one of these guys. The point I'm making is, don't make the mistake of taking people as variable costs, they're fixed costs. So be very careful on what's your leverage. Keep as many costs as you can variable so that you can change them on the fly. Obviously, cash flow, where is the cash flow break-even point? One of the deep analysis here, this sounds a very simple word, most people can't do that. What's the profitability per customer? That goes into knowing that number extremely well. Can you break it down by customer? What is your average cost of delivering the service? You're delivering a video? Sure. Sudhir is making a tax return per person? Sure. Do you know how much infrastructure gets used in making one tax return? Can you split that up between n number of customers? So have those things in mind, because when the going gets tough, which it inevitably will, no company is success graph like this. I mean, even if you look at the Facebooks of the world or Microsofts of the world, there were enough downturns. Oh, company is dead. Comes back. You read closely any company's story, there are enough number of death points that they came. At death point, when you had to do this, you ought to know what to leave behind. If you have no idea where your costs are and all that, sorry to say that, but you're screwed. There is no takeoff after that. For all of this stuff, you need to know. If you have charts for yourself, in these charts you'll get them wrong the first time, always, guaranteed. And then some crisis will prove to you that your chart is wrong. Hey, I thought the cost of this, but now all the customers are gone, but I still have this cost. They should have gone to zero. Obviously, there is some fixed cost in the system. Oh, we bought these AWS reserved instances, $60,000, $5,000, damn, all of them ridiculous. It comes back and hits you like a slap in the face. Very interesting slap, but nonetheless, it hurts. So, what I'm saying is, make these charts, even if they're wrong in the beginning, let yourself find out if you're wrong. If you don't even make the charts, I want the most perfect chart, otherwise I will not make it. You'll never have a chart. Guaranteed you'll never have a chart. Right? There was a Spanish mathematician, Nietzsche was German, Spinoza, I think was Spanish or Portugal, whatever. He said one very, I'm a little bit of math nut, history nut. All mathematicians of the world, from Newton to all these other guys, they were all very spiritual guys. Right? All mathematicians have written books on philosophy, but you read their philosophical books and they weave math into it, very beautiful. Spinoza wrote one thing which I still stuck in my mind. He goes, even if you figure out your moral framework is wrong, stick with it till you find the right one. Because living without a moral framework is very difficult. Because you don't know, in that framework-less time, you are floundering and you are bound to make a mistake. The point I'm trying to make is your charts are wrong, no problem, stick with them. Let time tell you they are wrong, but have a chart. Have a discipline of making a chart, have a discipline of following some numbers. Otherwise you will have no idea when you're going on. And when you find out you're wrong, hopefully sooner rather than later, great. Anyway. Same thing about these key metrics, these are all, are you guys familiar with these letter mumbo jumbo, letter soup, alphabet soup, or should I explain? Number of users and customers, that's very clear, but simple, right? You want to show activity and engagement with you. Are they coming back? Are they active? Some services are daily active, some we are weekly active. Like one of my companies has a, we found this very interesting pattern. Lots of people come on Monday and then there is no usage for 7 days. Monday again there is usage. Like, oh, something's wrong. Turns out some geek in the company had put a 1-week cookie. And if you log into the service once, it never asks you for a login for 7 days. And the other geek who instrumented the code was only tracking logins. Like 2 guys not talking to each other, like what the left hand is doing, that, no idea. And we thought we were screwed because people are not coming. In 5 weeks we saw this. I'm looking at the CFO that I'm sitting there, and this is a product meeting, right? So I get very intrusive with my companies. I said, your data is wrong. No, our data is right, absolutely. This guy says he's right. I said, but obviously this is such a massive pattern. It can't be, and our service was what? A login service, right? We are a secure login. People log in every day. What are you talking about? People don't log in just. And then this guy chimed, yeah, I put a cookie which expires in 7 days, therefore people don't touch our service for 7 days. Why did he put that thing? Oh, he wanted to save the pings to the database because it was killing his service. Dude, just to make your improvement better, you lost all the logging for 6 days. You have no idea what people do for 6 days. What a dumb idea is that? Right. So I'm saying this, if you put these charts up, you find out the idiosyncrasies that one part of the company has done something, the other doesn't know. Just anecdotes. So track they're using if you have usage, I got to put this in churn rate. I know I put it. Churn rate is very important. How many people am I losing? It's extremely important in any subscription-based business because it takes a lot of money to get the guy in, which is the second. This CAC. CAC is customer acquisition cost. To track that is a big science. It's not easy to find out what your customer acquisition cost is. We can talk offline about it because that's a lecture in itself. Since your CAC is very high, by and large in a subscription business, you will take 6 to 8 months to recover your customer acquisition cost. If your subscription is $10, your customer acquisition cost should be no more than $60 to $80. If your subscription is $250, then you can spend $3,000 or $2,000. I don't care. So these are some standard industry ratios we can talk about. The point I'm saying is track the churn rate very closely because that is a big indicator of the stickiness of your service and the profitability of your service eventually. LTV, nothing but 1 divided by churn rate, lifetime value of customer. How much time before my customer dies? Right? Am I a user for 4 months, 5 months, 40 months, 50 months? Because that's how long if my churn rate is 2% a month, which means of the 100 users, I lose 2 people every month. My average user is gone in 50 months. If you keep losing linear math, don't get too complicated geometric on me. Linear math, 2% losing every month, I would have lost my average guy in 50 months. Therefore, if I'm $5 a month service, average guy gives me $250 in his life before he vanishes. CAC to LTV ratio is super important, right?
What's LTV?
LTV is lifetime value. How much money will I have given you before I drop your service? CAC to LTV doesn't take Einstein to figure that out. If your CAC is greater than your LTV, you're dead. It takes you $10 to acquire a customer today. Remember, CAC always happens today because you've doled out your marketing money, sales money, commission money. You've given out $10. When the customer walks in, we welcome them, and over the next 20 months, he'll give me $8. Right? Story over. So it's like selling a buck for 80 cents and say, I will make it up on volume. You will never make volume. In fact, volume will kill you. I don't know this famous story about this cookie lady, Chicago or New Jersey, I forget. Groupon killed her. You heard of the story, guys? Right? You know what happened to her? Anybody?
Too many orders at discount.
Too many orders and discount. She didn't know the break even. She sold a cookie 50% off or whatever the price was. $2 she sold it for $1. She didn't know that her cookie cost her $1.50 to make. She had no idea. And suddenly 10,000 people show up for cookies and she's giving them away for $1. And the total cost of production was $1.50. She sold a negative gross margin, shut down. She had to put a note there, no more Groupon deals, I can't honor the Groupon deal, I'm out of business. So it's very important to know your CAC, customer acquisition cost, the lifetime value, because if CAC is running ahead of LTV, you will never make any money guaranteed. Just mathematically impossible. This again goes back to churn rate. What are customer additions? Net customer addition is what you're looking for. This and this are kind of related. Net customer additions. Because that is where your sales and marketing dollars are going to acquire that new customer. Right? In MRR, there is always a base. Right? If you go back, see these blue bars are the ongoing customers. They are costing you no acquisition cost. All the acquisition cost is going to acquire this, the net new business. That is what you need to keep your eye on. Obviously, organic and viral growth is supremely important. Why? Anybody?
Free.
It's free. Cost you $0. Your customer should be able to tell other people, hey, try this service. Why will companies put on? If you refer us to another customer, we'll give you a 1 month free. Very standard deal. That 1 month is their cost of acquisition because they've given you a month free because you referred him, etc., etc., etc. That's the cheapest way to acquire customers. It's a very, very high probability customer, right? If I go to the website, I don't know if I want to do this. Yeah, but I'm at a lecture, somebody, use Slack, man, you cut your email track. Yeah, sign up for Slack today. right? So word of mouth, organic, that's super important. Obviously, heart and soul of any business, repeat business. You don't want to lose your current customers. That's your free money. Don't let it go. Keep an eye on those blue bars, that's your repeat business. And if you can, have an account manager focused on the existing customers, track the hell out of their usage, know if they're overusing your service. Right? For example, I'll give you my example of my company. And this happens every day. I'm just giving you an example because it's personal to me. So I sold a product to a very large mutual fund. I leave them unnamed because they did stuff illegal. We signed a contract, this, that. They said, yeah, we need 2 seats. Like, guys, you have 50 people in this bar. Why do you? Oh, we'll test your service out. I said, okay, test it out. We are selling financial data. And if you know the mutual fund setup, there are a bunch of guys who do tech, bunch of guys who do energy, retail, industrials. Different people do different sectors. So 2 guys in tech I bought, and 6 months later I'm like, hey, they are looking at GE, they are looking at Exxon, they are looking at McDonald's. Tech guys don't look at that. The next thing I know, there are logins coming from 10 different machines, distinct machines. I recreate their sessions. You can read the fingerprint of the user. This guy goes after cash flow. This guy seems to go after balance sheet. What the hell is that? If I just send that list to the head of research saying, you bought 2 seats. This is the usage pattern from the last 6 months. Actually, I sent it after a year when at renewal time. He quietly upped the 2 to 10 users, went back and paid me 10 users from day 1. I didn't ask for it. I just sent him a user report. Saying, thank you very much, John. Your customers have been great. He knew he was in violation of the contract. And I'm going after that repeat. Like, if I track that, I know where is that repeat business coming from, cheapest revenue. Right? Have an account manager focused on current customers. If you license 5 seats in a company and only 2 guys use it, guess what? At renewal time, you renew only 2, not the 5. Have your account manager proactively call the other 3 guys. Hey, dude, what's going on? Can we do something? What did we wrong? Why are you not using? Supremely important to do that. That's where this part, the repeat customer, goes back to what I said way in the beginning. Have a way to service your customers. That is customer service, account management, proactive calling out, etc., etc. Or if you're high tech enough, have email alerts, right? If a user doesn't log in for 6 months or 1 month, send him, hey, not seen you in a long time, what's going on, can we help, etc. Whatever, whatever your plan is to harness that customer and revenue base, do that. Questions? No? So that's it, that's the end of my show. And it will all be available to you. Thank you to Joe for inviting us over. So what we're doing with Joe and GeniusDen is, as I said, my pitch, video books. We walk people through all of this stuff, and we have an arrangement with Joe that we give our services on a very heavily discounted basis to all the companies where, like GeniusDen, where we are partners with.